the desire to make art needs to be born in someone. But I think the nurturing of that desire and how it manifests and is executed in the world can absolutely be taught. My name is Garth Laidlaw. I teach students that are trying to study animation. So many young artists now start their art practice digitally on either an iPad or a tablet with a desktop. They start that way. That's their introduction into art. But I find it super valuable to go back and learn the traditional aspects of drawing and painting as well, because the constraints of it make you grow so much more as an artist. I really encourage my students to not just live in front of their screen, but to actually go out into the world, bring their sketchbook, bring their art materials, try new art materials, and just explore. Although digital feels very freeing, it has its own intense limitations as well. Sometimes when you're out in the world, your creativity is more uninhibited. I guess how I would distinguish my teaching is that I really encourage working from the story first, and then everything comes out from that. I don't really like students to just sketch in the abyss without much of a concept of what the story is, what the theme is. Even if it's not a whole story, just a little moment, a little situation that they're working on. I think something that gives them some context is going to be infinitely better than just sketching and kind of hoping you stumble upon a great character. A lot more thinking needs to go on to feel like it belongs inside of an animated film. I think it's really important for teachers to have some skin in the game and to be working artists themselves, not just a teacher, and I really try to embody this. Whenever I'm not with a student, I am working on my freelance work. I show them my freelance work occasionally and I say, this is what I'm working on and this is kind of how this works, this is how freelancing is, this is how it is to run your own business. On many of my animation freelance projects, I love to merge both traditional and digital. So sometimes I'll paint a background and then animate the characters onto that background digitally, which is a wonderful workflow and it doesn't feel separated at all. I actually really love when I'm working on a big freelance project, being able to hire some of my best students that I've worked with because I know them, I know their work ethic and they deliver homework on time and I can depend on them. So it feels like such a great kind of way to give back when they've trusted me with all of their mentorship so far in their life. Often students are incredibly shy when I first meet them, but then as soon as I get them talking about the stories that they're writing or the characters they're designing or all the different character archetypes that they're building in their stories, then suddenly I see their spark of life. They're so creative and energetic and all of the shyness is completely gone. So often when I get into a discussion with a student about their artwork, we start talking about other artwork that inspires them and kind of why they're doing this at all. And it's always so great to see them be so engaged in this because really animation is already so inspiring. So it's really not hard to get folks excited about animation. One of the things that I love about teaching animation online is that I have students from all over the globe. I had a student in India this week and then Japan right after. And then I'll have students that are right next to Sheridan College in Ontario. I really encourage students to have a good work-life balance. This is something that is so important to me that I feel like I've done a pretty good job with maintaining for most of my artistic career so far. It makes you able to sustain the highs and lows of being an artist much better. I've had teachers my whole life, mentors at different points. I really understand the value of being able to see the idea, even if it's not fully executed, but there's a seed of it there, and I can kind of see where they're going with it. So many teachers with me could see the skeleton of my idea, and they knew that it could land somewhere. There was a version of that idea that would be incredible if fully expressed, but it needed some nurturing, it needed some development. That's really what I'm here for. Just working on the fundamentals of art is so valuable, and it's a practice that never really ends. I kind of love being a lifelong student because I loved being in school. I found it super enriching and I was just always learning, and I don't I never want to stop learning.